Hashem, Mincha is going to be 4:55. Please be on time. The Halacha that we were speaking about was if you have a minyan that starts the Chazarat, you started the repetition with a minyan and people left. And the majority of the minyan still remained. So you still had 6, 7 people, or maybe 9 people, but that 10th person walked out. And we said that you're allowed to continue in the Shmona Esrei. It's permitted to continue and to go and say all the barachot, even though Hazara is something that requires 10 people. You wouldn't be able to start Hazara without 10. But once you've already started with 10 and someone left in the middle, you're allowed to finish that inyan, that specific matter. So we have to define clearly what that inyan means. So we know that the entire Hazara up to Sim Shalom, including Sim Shalom, would be part of the Hazara and you would be allowed to complete. What about Birkat Kohanim? Let's say there were Kohanim in the minyan and there was 10 and then they left in the middle of the Hazara. And now all you have is 9 people, including maybe 2 or 3 Kohanim. Can the Kohanim do Birkat Kohanim if there's only 9, 8 people in the minyan? So the Halacha says Birkat Kohanim is deemed to be a different entity. It's not directly, it's inserted into the Hazara, but it's really its own separate mitzvah, and therefore you would not be able to do Birkat Kohanim just because you're allowed to continue in the Hazara. So what you would actually do is you would do the Yudei Ratzon, the Yi Ratzon that we say, instead of the Birkat Kohanim, as if we were not to have Kohanim. So this is the equivalent because we don't really have the ability to do Birkat Kohanim without 10 people. It's Davar Shebekidusha, it needs 10 people. And therefore you would skip the Birkat Kohanim and instead replace it with the Yi Ratzon that is brought down, the Elokeinu v'Elokei Avotenu, it's brought down in the Sidurim in its place. The same thing would be true for the Kaddish. I think we spoke it out. The Kaddish after the Tefillah is not considered, is not deemed as part of the inyan of the repetition. The Kaddish is its own entity, it's its own thing, and therefore would not be included. Although we did distinguish that Kedusha, the Kadosh, 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 is viewed as part of the Hazara, and that would be able to be said. As well as Anenu, you have the Bracha of Anenu during fast days, that's considered part of the Hazara, and that would be permitted to be said as well. Baruch Adonai le'olam.